Welcome back to Creations by Susan K. We're here today to show you springtime. Even though I got a snowman on, it's cold outside and it was snowing, but we want to think spring. I've got a really cute little birdhouse here that I picked up. And keep in mind, you can use little wooden buckets, you can use little teapots, you can use little crates. There's all kinds of cute stuff. So find you a real cute piece and you can use the same arrangement I'm going to show you how to put in it. The birdhouse has a hole in the top. So I've taken my duct tape, tore off a little piece, I put down in there. The reason I do that, that is going to be able to hot glue the foam onto it and it's going to stay more secure. When you have something slick, the glue sometimes just kind of gets real smooth in there and it will not stay. So if you duct tape first, hot glue your foam down. The foam that we use is a Sahara foam, the cushy foam, not the styrofoam. You can use styrofoam, but it's just a little easier when you're working with silk. And I've already embellished this. This was something I wanted to do. It was really plain. So it would be kind of like plain in the back, or do you prefer accents in the front? So I added a little bit of ivy. I added a little bird. I took added a little touch of flower, and these flowers I just snipped off of what I'm going to be using in there. Then I took a piece of ivy, I poked down in the foam, but then I glued it down the front so you can kind of get an idea of how it trails. Okay, we're going to start off with some of the pieces. I'll be using my wire cutters. These are the ones that have the spring inside, so it cuts real easy. And always when you go to cut, take your piece and go down all the way inside of your wire cutter when you cut it off. If you try to snip it off the ends, it's really hard to cut. So make sure you use that, then have you a handy pair of scissors, because that's going to help, and then make sure you have your glue gun. This glue gun here has a real fine point tip, and I'm using the long glue sticks. This way you're not running out and keep putting them in there. So that's just a suggestion for you to do. I've got some cute little accent pieces. I'm going to use the little sign I found. I think this was out for the spring, and this one here is all wood, and it says "Hello Spring," and it's a really cute one. It's something you can use all the season. You can put whatever you want in it. I'm just going to give you suggestions today. With this one here, we're going to start off, and I found some of the fern, and this had several on it, but I cut off the little ones so I can use those all on the edge. This one here I'm going to use as my back piece. This is more like a one-sided piece, but I'm making it nice in the back, so if it is setting somewhere, it still looks good all the way around. If you're using something, I'm going to say like the birdhouse has the decoration in the front, most likely it's one-sided piece. I'm going to take little mini air fern, and I'm going to add this to it. The little air fern is just something lacy. You don't want to make this real thick because it's spring. Springtime, you want everything to be real airy. So think about when you're out in your flower bed and you're seeing all this starting to come up in the dirt and you just got little light airy pieces of greens. And then the next thing you know, you have your crocus popping up. You have your little daffodils, which another name is titis. You have your little mini irises popping up. These are just little larkspur, but they're not bloomed out yet. They're just a little green. And then the little filler flower with the pink, and these are just like a little maybell flower. So just think of early spring, because that's what we're using them for. I'm going to finish filling in, kind of giving you, again, your airy look. There are so many different looks you can get. You can make this a fall look. You can make it a summer look. You can just do, you can turn it into Christmas if you want. This is just suggestions. Okay, I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to put my last piece, and I'm adding a little bit of ivy. Since I have ivy on the front, I'm adding a little ivy inside here. Now this is where when you go to snip off different things you're using, and you only got one piece left, have a box with just greenery in it. So you can go back and mix and match. It's nothing better than having a variety of ivories and greens. It makes your piece a whole lot more interesting, and it's not just the same thing. You want dimension, you want depth, you want a movement. This right here is perfect for movement. And then when I get done, I'm going to show you a few different accents. While I've got this in, I'm going to show you the one I have right beside me. This was one similar that I used, and I found a really pretty pink color to pick out my bright pinks. This was my first thing I bought, was the bright pink filler. The bright pink filler, when I seen that, I knew I needed a container, and this is just a nice ceramic piece. And then I end up using the larkspurs. You can use the delphinium, then I use the daffodils. I used a little bit of the purple hydrangeas and ivy, and look at all the different spring greenery. So this is a little bit bigger one, but just showing you spring is, you're going to be ready. You know, it's going to be here just within a month, so you want to get all this stuff made up and ready. So this one here I'm going to take and set it over here, and I'm going to start filling in. I've got my pieces, and I've used my wooden metal picks, and I've picked so I have some height. So I'm going to start in the back here, giving my height here. Then I'm going to go back down, and I'm going to do my triangle with my 3 main pieces that I have here. So basically I got all my greens first. You can find these in all colors. You can use pussy willow, you can use, oh gosh, cherry blossoms, but you need height. So you got like your round flowers, your line flowers, your filler flowers. You want to be able to use a little bit of variety. Now I could have went back and did a solid yellow, but I wanted to use an accent with this yellow accent. So I'm going to turn around here. I'm going to add my little mini, it's the iris, kind of give you an idea. I used here, and there are 2 on a pick, but a lot of times if you got something smaller, if you're doing a little accent piece to match, snip off 1 or 2 of these, and then you can do like a small little size of a coffee mug or a little bowl. The little Ming bowls are so popular right now. So these are some of the different things. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see, this one's a little bit taller. I'm going to go ahead and use this one in here. And then I'll use this one down over here. All right. Now, see, I'm kind of taking my thumb and I'm bending these down a little bit. I'm going to turn it around. Again, where you're putting it, if you need more of your flower to be contained to the piece, don't bring this out so much. If you've got plenty room, make it airy and make it a more open piece. I'm going to add, these were labeled as little crocus, but to me they look like little mini tulips, but crocus look like that when they first come out. That's the first flower you see in the spring. Out there in the snow, you'll see a few of them just kind of peeking through, and they comes in yellows and pinks and purples, and that kind of makes us like, all right, spring is here. Now I'm going to give you an idea. Turn this back around where I've added deep purple. So I got a light purple with a touch of yellow, but you need that deep color in here. That's what's kind of make everything else pop. And I'm going to go back with a little mini daffodils. I'm going to look to see, I added a metal pick to the bottom. You can use your wooden picks if you'd like. Now remember, I have all the other videos out that you're going to want to look at those. I've been showing a lot of varieties of different things, and I will show some with how to make wedding flowers, how to make cemetery flowers, how to make flowers that will go with your home when you're changing your furniture to change out what you've got. Remember, it's on Etsy now, all of my merchandise that's going to be for sale, that you can purchase all of my items. So go on to Etsy, and it's at Creations by Susan K. So go on there and you can see the items that I have for sale. Okay, I'm just about done here with this. I'm going to add my little pieces to the front. Then what I'm going to do is my 2 small pieces I'm filling in the back here. And that's just kind of giving you a finished touch. Like if you're setting this in front of a mirror, you have an entryway with a really pretty table and a mirror behind it. You're going to add your little birdhouse and a few candlesticks and maybe a little figurine. And that's going to make a real nice setting. That's going to say wow when they walk into your house. Remember, that's your impression wall. And you've heard me say that in my other videos. Okay, this is the little pink star filler flowers. These here are nice. They just have enough texture, and they've got some depth to them. They're not just little and flat. And we'll fill this one in, make our pink top and our little bird and our little flower in the front. And then I've got my little Hello Spring pick. I'm going to add that to it. Now, if you want to add a little color to it, you can take your little Sharpie pen or just a little bit of an acrylic pen on a brush and put on here and take your cloth and kind of highlight it like chalk paint. You can do that. I'm leaving my natural. I'm going to stick this one in here because I kind of want it to show up. Now you can add ribbons to this if you want. Since you got a lot of colors, I would add a solid ribbon or maybe like a ribbon that's not as busy. This one here you can take and use a nice variety. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And if you have any questions, you can also make comments and I'll be glad to help you out with that. Have a nice day.